On today's video, as Heroic Anthem pops in Kingdom 401, over 100 kingdoms in this group. This is group 2 of Heroic Anthem. In this video, I want to show you a little bit of what's potentially changed in Heroic Anthem, if at all, as well as just give you a little bit of an overview on what this account is going to be doing, what we're planning, what are the things that you should see coming up in this channel out of the big account as we wind down the jumper accounts Heroic Anthem. So sit back, smash a like on the video, and let's go. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. 167 kingdoms have signed up for Heroic Anthem, which is available for sign up in the next 2 and some days. Like it or not, you're gonna have to sign up if you register, or if you don't, it will still stick you in here. Before we start, though, I'm a sponsored content creator of ours. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to slap a like on this video, and of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get a notification every time we upload a new video. That's right, you gotta get that bell with all symbol on. But anyway, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, there are no choices per se. So in a utopian world, you register for either of these 3 events in the days that you have to choose, essentially. But since only one is available, whether you register or not will not matter. You will automatically get registered into here anyway. And that sucks for some people, because what ended up happening is that there seems to be a shift in the brackets of KVK. Curiously enough, kingdoms like 357, I believe it is, are in the first batch of KVKs, but 307 wasn't in that second batch. 307 is part of this batch, 401 is part of this batch, and apparently they united some of the 500 or 600 kingdoms in here as well. And so what ended up happening is a few kingdoms had the unfortunate bad situation where they had 2 weeks worth of break after that, their light versus darkness, and now they got to go through this. Some folks have told me that they're zeroed. Some folks have told me they don't have resources. And this happens a lot. Every now and then Lilith shifts the brackets and someone always gets screwed. They tend to have someone have a smaller break than folks having a much bigger break. So those with a smaller break get a proper break. It happens. It sucks, but it happens. When it comes to rewards, doesn't look like anything's changed. All the prizes are pretty much the same and at the same price. So that kind of sucks. You cannot get essentially Topkapi's Palace in 1 KVK, which is really annoying and frustrating. But hey, at least with this account, we're max researched, which means we can spend some research speed ups on this event. Now, a lot of folks have asked me whether or not it's worth it to spend your speed ups on Heroic Anthem. My only thing that I have to say about it is, remember, when Heroic Anthem ends, poof, go with the speed ups that you spent. So some folks have told me, but there is nothing I can do with my research speed ups right now, right? We don't know if within 2 or 6 months or maybe a year, Lilith will release a brand new research tree, and all of a sudden, you know, we're all scrambling to get research speed ups again. So do I recommend going ham? If you really need to, you can. If you think that it's worth it, you can. If you're chasing after the blueprints and all that, you can. I think you can live without doing all the freaking researches. The folks who do need to do all the researches are the ones who are going to be the tip of the spear when it comes to rallies and when it comes to potentially even garrison. So that's one thing. On this account, we're in a decent-ish shape when it comes to speed ups. We got a good amount of the generics, and of the trainings are a little bit low. The generics we got a good amount of. But in terms of researches, we're rocking about 300 days worth of researches, which isn't research speedups, which is not that amazing, but it's not terrible. It could be enough to max researches. If we need to, of course, we got a huge load of generics waiting for any need or use. When it comes to building speedups for our crystal mine, the crystal mine takes about 80 days worth of speedups, give or take. And so we are rocking 300 days plus, which means I'm definitely going to exchange building speedups for training speedups and also push those buildings up, because, you know, building speedups don't really need them. Although, again, if a new building comes out, I might be in trouble. But at least the crystal, we'll get the crystal mine at least to like level 20 or so and see where we go from there. With that being said, this account has been very fluctuating in terms of what I want to do with it. So for those of you who have been following me for a little bit now, you know that this account started as an Archer main account. Now, I picked Archer main primarily because there were very little Archer mains, and I kind of wanted to do something that was different. The reason there were very few Archer mains is because realistically, Archers are great, but they're not that useful. Like they are in the sense of I've seen a lot of good Archers doing a lot of good damage, but at the end of the day, if you're a infantry or cavalry main, there is a little bit more usability war-wise, as Archers are fairly squishy, and cavalry counter Archers, which cavalry is one of the most prominent types of troops in the game. So this is an Archer main, which then later on became a Garrison Archer main account. So we are working right now on getting YSS done, and we got Zenobia on deck to get done as well. But I kind of want to shift this account a little bit more towards a fighting stance. And for that, we need a few other commanders to show up onto the field and help us out with that. And that would be our Alexander the Great. I'm looking at Saladin. I'm looking at Guan Yu. But at this point in time, we have to pick our battles. And so what I think is going to happen with this account for the coming Heroic Anthem is with a pretty decent amount of sculptures that we have, 1681. We'll more than likely expertise Yi Sun Sin unless I'm told don't worry about it because we're going to use something else and then he's just going to stay like this for a little bit. We are probably going to expertise Zenobia. I need to figure out whether I'm dropping 680 sculptures on her or I am going to compete in her mightiest governors to try to get any types of sculptures of her as possible before we max her. That should be coming up as well, and we'll just grind our way if we need to end up somewhere top 10, maybe top 3. We'll see what happens. So she is a predominantly important commander for us. But our next goal is going to be to spin 184 times 3 for William and expertise William for Ark of Osiris. So William is also going to be very useful on the open field, but he needs a buddy. And right now, his only buddy that I have that is either Minamoto or Cao Cao. And practically speaking, I would really like to get my Saladin up into action. And unfortunately, Saladin is just a 1. We got 10 sculptures just to unlock him, and that's it. So it would be 690 sculptures down. Well, we're going to get him to 5551, so it would be 500 sculptures. Give or take, I think it's 500 sculptures, 510 maybe, to get him done. And so in between all that, we're looking at potentially Saladin at 380, not 500, my bad, 380 sculptures for Saladin. We're looking at potentially 680 for Zenobia. I'm also taking into account 195 to expertise YSS. And maybe we'll go as far as expertising our Alexander as well, get that Alexander 500 sculptures in. So in theory, if I were right now to expertise YSS, to expertise Zenobia, to expertise Alexander, and to 5551 Saladin, I'm about 74 sculptures short right now from getting 3 legendary commanders expertise and a 5551. On top of that, we're going to spin for William, and then that will give us an extra, we'll have to put an extra investment there. So things are moving. Thankfully, when we moved to 401, the advantage of moving to 401 is that we caught a slight break when it comes to our need for commanders that are happening right now. So for example, the mightiest governor that's going on right now is a Theodora mightiest governor, one that we completely cannot care less for because we don't need Theodora. We have her expertise. And so we've been able to not do these events and essentially use the legendary commander sculptures that we're getting every single day to catch up on previous things that we haven't figured out yet. So I would like, in a very, very, very good world, to expertise him if needed, to expertise her, to 5551 him, to expertise him, and then to start spinning for Herald once Herald comes. For all of that, there is a long, long, long way to go. And we're not talking about this week or next week. We're talking about at least a month and a half until we have all the William wheels happen. And then we're talking about another couple of days or weeks worth of time to get more sculptures, to do more arcs, to do everything we need to get that out of the way. But I am starting to shift a little bit into open field marches that can double up as Arc of Osiris marches, as well as fighting marches, as well as potentially Lost Canyon marches. So I think that an Alexander is very much our biggest mistake, though, was that we did not expertise him. I think that if I were to go back in time, I would have reconsidered the decision of being an archer main, because while I like having our Ramses and Edward, realistically speaking, and by the way, in this account we also put legendary commander sculptures onto Charles Martel, which a lot of them, which was a little bit of a mistake. So if I could get these guys back, I would have probably expertised, maybe even, I would have expertised Khan. I would have had Saladin at 5551, and then from there we would have seen, or even Alex expertised. I don't know. At this point, we're trying to shift to do more garrison, but also try to get a little bit of open field action as well as potential rally stuff. So Alexander, William, Saladin, Zenobia, Harold, and YSS are what we're looking at in the near future. And hopefully we'll get all of those done so this account can start going up a little bit in terms of its usability, open field, rallies, garrisoning, and all that good stuff. Equipment-wise, we are doing okay. We got definitely more equipment to make, and we will be making more equipment. We're now working on a cavalry set potentially, and then we'll go from there. Thankfully, equipment isn't a problem for us. More the problem is to get the blueprints. We don't have that many materials, quote unquote, but again, materials are very much achievable if we need to. We can easily end up with a good amount of legendaries if we need them, and when we need them, we'll get that out of the way. We're looking right now into working further our garrison, working further our infantry equipment, and then from there cavalry equipment, and of course top off a little bit that archer equipment. Heroic Anthem on this account is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to fight with Squad and with the folks of 401, LIIG, and company. And yeah, we're gathering. Farms are out gathering. I'm out gathering. And we're just doing everything we can, using up our AP daily to make sure when the fight comes, we're ready to rock and roll. Which kingdom are you in? And are you in our Heroic Anthem group? Let me know in the comment down below. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Appreciate it. I'm going to drop the like on this video and subscribe to the channel. Tomorrow we have a little bit of action from the KVK, Heroic Anthem KVK that we did with Kingdom 2. A little bit of a closure of what happened there. We'll talk then. I'll see you all sooner rather than later. Have a great rest of your weekend, whatever time it is you're watching this video, and take care. Peace.